As part of Ferrari Fridays, William Ross from the Exotic Car Marketplace will be discussing all things Ferrari and interviewing people that live and breathe the Ferrari brand. Topics range from road cars to racing, drivers to owners, as well as auctions, private sales, and trends in the collector market.
And welcome back to the Ferrari Marketplace podcast, where we talk about everything related to Ferrari out there in the world. I'm your host, William Ross. Appreciate you coming back. Let's give a big shout out to our sponsors and supporters.
For everything from Ferrari and Porsche, Lamborghini, and Koenigsegg, visit exoticcarmarketplace.com. If you're into anything with wheels and a motor, log on to the Motoring Podcast Network and check out our family of podcasts at motoringpodcast.net. This is the place to find your favorite new show. Next up, a shout out to David Beatty and his team at Slot Mods, who custom build some of the coolest slot car tracks in the world at slotmods.com. Let your imagination run wild. And finally, Grand Touring Motorsports, covering all aspects of auto racing and motorsports history. Check out their e-zine at gtmotorsports.org. All the links for our sponsors are in the description.
And also, we got to give a shout out for our event happening on July 27th, the Rock+Revs Automotive Festival. It's happening up here in Northeast Ohio in Fairview Park on Sunday, July 27th. We have some of the coolest prizes and awards around. Winners can receive a Schwinn Apple Crate Stingray bicycle, a Mongoose BMX bicycle. We got tons of Lego Technique kits to give away as well, amongst other items. We also have over $2,000 in tools and equipment donated by ECS Tuning that we are raffling off, and we are adding items on a regular basis. Check it out, rockandrevs.com. So anyways, onward. We're going to talk about special variants. And the reason I want to touch on this is Ferrari just dropped the 296 Speciale. Obviously, how Ferrari works in their model lineup, the 296 was supposed to be like a Dino type deal, an entry level, at $500,000 entry level. And then you had your SF90, then you got obviously into your, your V12s and stuff like that. They didn't come out with a variant in the middle model, I guess you could say, as they've done in the past. So we're going to go through that and work our way up to the 296, because I will say they did a fantastic job. And I want to say I think the 296 is kind of flying under the radar regards to value and excitement and enjoyment. It's a great car. It is wickedly fast. I mean, it is awesome. I got a ride in one a little while back and wanted to drive it, but I wasn't going to push it. But hey, I got a quick ride in it. It wasn't anything crazy, but unbelievable car. It's great. It kind of got me on the bandwagon in those cars, but it wasn't as reliant as the SF90 is on electric and stuff like that. But anyways, we'll get to that. So we're going to start out in the beginning, Ferrari making these race car road variant models that a person can get, still buy, use, what have you. First one, it was a conversion kit. This was for the 348 Challenge. Ferrari, to kind of boost its image and kind of, drum up more interest, they came up with the idea, let's have our one make race series for our owners and what have you. And it's been very successful. I will give you that. And it's great racing too. You got some guys that are pros in there, but majority, almost 95% of the guys running that are just amateurs that got a lot of money. So the first variant they came out with was a 348 Challenge. It was a kit that the dealer installed for someone that wanted to put it on and go racing. Ferrari, the factory, did some themselves as well, but there was just a kit that they could buy. And basically, they didn't really do any motor upgrades or anything like that. It was more along the lines of safety equipment, reducing weight, stripping stuff out, giving some race seats, everything like that, fire extinguishers, that kind of stuff, front tow hook, anything like that. So they really did not do anything crazy with it. It was more just to kind of lighten it up and tighten it up, go racing. And like you said, they could get it installed at their local dealership and get it there to go racing. So, but that was basically the first one. Now you do see people taking those, because that was the one thing about it, is you could revert the car back to basically road legal version. But you're not really doing all that much to it to really also make this thing, hey, it's not street legal anymore. Because you weren't like taking the headers off or doing anything crazy on this car. You got people running challenge cars, driving them on the street. You just slap the license plate on it. So, I mean, there really wasn't much to that. And 348 gets a lot of hate, kind of one of those odd models. They took the side strakes, kind of copying off the Testarossa. Then old Luca Di Montebazzello, however you pronounce his last name, came on board during that, and he didn't have much involvement in the 348. But the next one where he did have the 355, which is one of my favorite Ferraris. It's a great car. It's small. It's got that V8. You put the right headers and pipe on it. Oh my God, that thing sounds fantastic. Kind of almost along the same lines as a 348. There's a 355 Challenge that was built. Now this was built directly from the factory because they changed a lot of stuff in regards to roll cage, bucket seats, the safety harness, fire extinguisher, engine cutoff, radiator controls, a different steering wheel, lightweight exhaust, rear wing, competition clutch. They pulled the brakes from the F40, put those Brembos on there as well, 18-inch wheels and slicks, solid suspension, bushings, all that kind of stuff. Changed some aesthetics, perfect, black grille, that kind of stuff, and just lightened it up and everything like that. They only built about 108 of those. Here's the thing, depends on you ask. There's probably over 300 cars that were converted. People could buy the stuff and get it done themselves. But there were 108 that were built by the factory. But like I said, there's probably over 300 of them out there roaming the world that were just done with the conversion kits. I have no idea. But again, once you went that thing, that car, obviously racetrack only, not road legal. I'm sure there are people out there that did what they had to do and modified it to make it road legal. The things that are on there though in regards to the clutch and all that kind of stuff, and make it pretty sketchy to try and drive on the street because you probably fry the clutch in a minute. Obviously, you're not going to run slicks on the street, stuff like that. So it just makes for a very, very, very harsh ride if you didn't change a few things. But, it's that cool look. People all say, oh, it's a race car for the street, what everyone's always going for. So there's a lot of guys out there that, run all those items on there. They change up the grill, that kind of stuff to give it that look. Now, here's the one thing, though. In Europe, over here as well, you could get the Fiorano handling package, which gave you a little bit wider front track, stiffer springs, thicker anti-roll bar, drilled and ventilated brakes, competition challenge, whatever sort of steering rack, challenge grills and stuff like that, the Ferrari shields. You got your carbon fiber insert, stuff like that, suede cover seats. And that's when that F1 transmission started coming in. Everyone was, because it's the cool new thing. So people are like, well, I might get that F1 flappy paddle transmission. So sadly, out of the 100 cars that were delivered to the U.S. market, 74 had that F1 paddle shift transmission, with only 26 having the 6-speed manual. Obviously, the 6-speed manual cars are probably about $300,000 now. If it's going to have the Fiorano handle, it's a rare car, rare package on it. I mean, it could be more, especially if you got low miles, everything like that, and color combo, the whole 9 yards. Not to say you couldn't do a swap on the F1 tranny ones that were done, but I mean, then you're kind of defeating the purpose because you have a limited edition model. Like I said, that was a Fiorano, but now in Europe, you could get in the last year, the 355 was a Fiorano handling pack. That says Europe only. So, I mean, you could import these things now. Obviously, it didn't affect all that many cars that were done because of last year, everything like that. But the Fiorano is the one you want to get. But obviously, again, you go talk about the Challenge. That was the race car. So, again, building these first two was along the lines, okay, it's basically making a really cool car. But then they realized, hey, there's a market for a road-going race version of these cars. People really want it. Because, again, majority of people get these cars, they drive them on the weekends. They're not like doing cross-country jaunts or anything like that, but they want to have that feeling, so they go out on a Sunday drive and everything like that. So they saw the market and they kind of started tapping into it a bit and went from there with it. On the 355, got a little more serious about it. Now, the 360, the next model, was a huge jump in regards to performance, everything like that, from the 355 to the 360. Aesthetic-wise, aluminum, everything like that, it was a big, big jump. Flappy paddle gearbox started becoming a little more prevalent in regards to production numbers. You wanted to get the Challenge Stradale. Obviously built by the factory, going out, but that was a road-going car, because this is when Ferrari started doing the race series, and these things were race car specific. They made them serious race cars. It wasn't just making a couple changes to a road-going version, and there you go. They were making hardcore race cars by now for the Ferrari race series. But what they did with the Challenge Stradale is they tweaked, obviously aesthetic wise, better breathing. They increased the horsepower up to 425 horsepower, dropped the weight by a decent amount. Flappy paddle gearbox, because you couldn't get a manual. Even though you could order a 360 with the factory manual, you couldn't get the Challenge Stradale in a manual. Now you could do a swap on these as well, but the gearbox, they tweaked it so it's faster gear changes. That was kind of one thing about the first generations of the F1, because all it was is basically hydraulic system attached to a standard manual tranny. It wasn't like a dual clutch or everything like that. It wasn't really designed to do it that way. They just modified the existing transmission to be able to do it where you had the flappy paddles. But the systems they're using, they improved it that way. And what's interesting, I haven't heard or seen many people that have taken a Challenge Stradale and done a manual conversion. I know they're out there. I know people have done it. That would be my route. That's what I would do. I'd get the Challenge Stradale, swap it, put in a manual transmission in it, and have at it. Why not? I mean, you could even do is just buy a whole transmission, pull out the F1 one, and just swap that one in. That would be cool, but there's only about a little over 1,200 Challenge Stradales produced. Rare, yes. Rare, no. I mean, it's that's quite a few cars, but it's gaining popularity in regards to getting. I mean, obviously the 360 is a popular car. It's a great, I want to say, entry level, because now you got the 355 with the manual gearbox going through the roof, so to speak. They're more expensive than a 360 manual is now, which is kind of odd. You think it'd be the other way around, but right now in the market, that's where things are going. But in the next couple of months, things could completely change because of what's going on in the world and here in America. I'll just leave it at that. I'm not going to get political. So the 360, obviously, it's a great car to get into. You can still work on that car yourself. Majority of it, really not much you can't do yourself if you know how to turn a wrench. And if you can't figure something out, look on YouTube. Someone's probably done it. You can get it figured out. So that's what's great about those cars. That they're very, I don't want to say simplistic, but you don't have computers running everything. You don't have like massive amount of electronics in the car. So you can still do these things yourself. I mean, you can technically almost swap yourself if you want to go into a manual. I wouldn't recommend it. I would spend the money and send it to a shop, because you got to get the computer flashed, all that kind of stuff to understand that, hey, now it's a manual gearbox, everything like that. But the Challenge Stradale is really kind of gaining momentum out there in the marketplace. People, I don't want to say all of a sudden realizing or coming to that fact, but it's a great car. I mean, it's a really great car. I mean, they sound beautiful. You put pipes on that, some headers, they just scream. It's an awesome, awesome car. I don't want to say inexpensive to run, but you still have the scenario where you got the belts, you got to pull the motor. Now, if you know what you're doing, you really don't have to pull the whole motor out to do your belts. But it makes it easier, because normally when you do the belts, you're going to be a lot of other things that you're going to want to change anyways, because of wear and tear on the car. So it's kind of just, preventive maintenance type situation. So that's what I recommend. Next step up, we're going to go into probably one of my, again, more favorite models is the 430 Scud. We're taking, the race car variants out of this equation, because we're going to talk about the road going cars. But obviously they had the 430 race cars, Challenge, GT3, GT, all that kind of stuff. Those were built specific race cars only. You were not going to change those into street cars. I mean, push comes to shove, I'm sure you could, but it would be not fun to drive it on the street. So we are talking about the road going special versions, the ones that you want to kind of hunt down. 430 F1 tranny cars were more prevalent in production than the 6-speed manuals. Out in the marketplace, a 430 factory manual car, it's kind of hard to say value-wise, because people are asking stupid numbers, but they're not getting them. I've seen several cars that have been sitting for months at a dealership because they're just asking stupid money, and they're slowly coming down. There's one sitting out there that's yellow black. It's got higher miles. It's almost 50,000 miles on the car. And I think they've had this car for over a year now. They're down at like 230, I think now, 230,000, something like that, which isn't too bad. But I mean, I think that's maybe a $175,000 car with that mileage, everything like that. It is a factory manual. It is a factory yellow car. Some of these dealers, there's another one up there in Northeast that, he gets his hands on quite a few, but he was asking $500,000 for some of these, and he's had them forever. So factory manual cars are stupidly expensive, or I should say stupidly priced out in the market. Now, that's to say that's what they're going for. Again, market adjustments. But the problem is, you got a dealer, he's got X dollars into it. He's not going to take a loss, so he'll just sit on the car. Because at some point in time, it'll come back to them dollar-wise in regards to value, what you can sell for, but you never know. So, but anyways, we are talking about a 430 Scud. This car is probably next to the one we're going to talk about next in the 458 Speciale. The 430 Scud is a fabulous, fabulous car. Again, it's got the flappy paddle transmission on it, but they've got this thing dialed in. It's kind of that point. It's like, yeah, I know people have swapped in a 6-speed manual into a Scud, and it's been awesome. It's probably what I would do. I'd buy a higher mileage one, swap in the manual, have some fun. Everything about the car is tightened up. They've done some fantastic things with just everything. They increased the horsepower, reduced some weight. It's just a fabulous, fabulous car. If you ever get the opportunity to drive one, I highly recommend it. It's fantastic. I can't talk much about it. Now, and here's where we get into. Now, all of a sudden, they also you had the 16M that the 430 could get in, and that was basically just a convertible version of the Scud. So that was kind of a new variant in regards to coming out with these road-going race car variants of the car. So now all of a sudden you could get a convertible because there's demand. There was the demand for it, so they got them out there and they built a few of them. Those things are crazy money out in the market because they are just a very, very rare car. They only did about 500 of them were built. Getting your hands on one, you're probably in the I don't know. I hate to put a number on it. $750,000 easily. 500 to $750,000, depending on options, colors, everything like that. I mean, they are not cheap. But that 430 Scud is it's an awesome car. It is an awesome car. My garage, I love to have. I would do a 355 factory manual. I would do a 430 factory manual, but then a 430 Scud with the manual swap, something along those lines, or kind of vice versa. I do something along those lines with the 430. I definitely have a 430 in the stable, and then the next car we're going to talk about a 458 Speciale. I think those would be the three I pop in there. Well, William, I mean, those are all just 8-cylinder cars. I mean, how different are they? They're very, very different cars. Totally different driving experiences between them. It's just a great car. But the 430 Scud, you could drive that car, a lot. You could almost say daily it. Pretty much you could. But it's a great, great car. I mean, again, if you ever get the opportunity to drive one, definitely take it. Even if you're just putzing around and you can't go over more than 30 miles an hour, it's a great car. I mean, it's obviously the pinnacle of the 430 production, barring the 16M as well. But I mean, it's a great car. If you had really deep pockets, you get two Scuds. One you keep with the flappy paddle, and another one you do a manual swap on it and have some fun. Now I know old Freddie Tavares down there, he took the Recco and had it with the Scud. He put that 6-speed manual, and he absolutely loves it. He did a knockout job with that. That's fantastic. I want to give a shout out if you're looking to get that done for a manual swap. I know everyone says EAG, yeah, they make the components, but there's a couple other entities out there that also make the kit. And talk to the guys at Ray Hall Performance. They're getting into that. I know when I visited them last year and did a tour, everything like that, they are getting into doing that. I would highly recommend, especially if you're in this area. EAG's backed up, but hey, I mean, like I said, there's other places that can do it, but I would definitely give the guys at Ray Hall Performance a shout out. If you're looking at wanting a manual swap done on any of your Ferraris, they would be a great shop to go to. Now, the next one that everyone is talking about that is just going for crazy dollars, in everyone's opinion, is the last great mid-engine Ferrari, naturally aspirated Ferrari, the 458 Speciale. The Aspirated version of it as well. Normally aspirated V8 screams, and this thing sounds so good. You put the right, especially headers and pipes on this thing, oh my God. And they're just going up in value. They're just fantastic cars. Again, this is another, if you ever have the opportunity to drive a 458 Speciale, definitely do it because, oh my God, this car is spectacular. It is basically the 430, obviously new body and that, but it's just so refined. They just nailed it with that car. Absolutely spectacular. If you only get one, I would recommend, depending on your bank account, I'm a manual guy, so it's like, that 458 Speciale is just a very, very special car. Yeah. So again, they tighten everything up, more horsepower, a little more torque, flappy paddle transmission, just unbelievable. 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds. It's just got everything. And again, it's a comfort enough car that you could drive that thing across country. You could daily that car, do anything like that. I mean, it's just awesome, awesome car. They really got everything put together, before they had to switch over to what we're talking about next, going into the turbos and stuff like that because of emissions and everything like that. It was just something that they had to do. Hands were tied in regards to, environmental regulations and stuff like that. So it sucks, but it is what it is. So because we go into the next model, the 488 Pista. This is actually starting to gain in the marketplace in regards to value. Obviously, go turbocharged. The cars are gorgeous looking. There's no doubt about that. It's got that scoop in the front. Gorgeous, gorgeous car. They also made a convertible version of the 488 Pista. They borrowed a lot of stuff from the Challenge. increased the horsepower to 720 horsepower, 710, depending on how you look at the numbers. But anyways, this was definitely heavy influence from the Challenge race car versions of this car. That's where the scoop in the front comes on. I've driven a 488, but I've never driven a Pista. Great car. I mean, it's gorgeous looking. And again, these are starting to gain value in the marketplace. It's still a good value right now because it's kind of overlooked because everyone's going after the 458 Speciale. You know, this is one, if you're looking to have a car, you want to keep it long term. Obviously, you can jump in a 458 Speciale. That'd be a great buy for it because that's just going to gain in value no matter what. I think it'll gain faster than the 488 will. You got good solid money on a 488 Pista. I think this one is ones, obviously, you're going to have your yearly maintenance costs, but I think it's one where if you bought it now and in 5 years you sold it for what you paid for it, minus obviously you have your maintenance costs and running costs throughout those 5 years. So I mean that's money just, hey, that's gone because hey, it's price of admission, so to speak. I think you will get it back what you paid for it, if not even making some money, depending on where things go. So beautiful car. You know, really leaning heavily on the race cars, pulling stuff from that. And then, you know, we get into the next model, which is the F8 Tributo. It has the same engine from the 488 Pista. Body's tweaked. Obviously, they tickled with the flappy paddle gearbox. It's got a lot more, not a lot more, but, you know, it's got a bit more horsepower. It got the latest side slip angle control stuff, you know, all the electronic nanny aids and all this kind of stuff. You know, it's a great looking car. F8s are kind of flying under the radar too. I think it's a great car, especially, you know, they came out with the SF90. I think the SF90, really, people are losing their ass on that car. Hundreds of thousands of dollars, spending all this money because they had to, you know, buy that and other things to be able to get in line to buy something special. So I think these earlier cars are really gaining more value and people wanting to get their hands on them. The F8 Tributo, again, I think you'd have to go out and look at the numbers, but, you know, obviously I think you're going to get a 488 Pista before you get an F8 maybe. You know, looking at the car itself, I think the 488 Pista's got a more aggressive look to it. I think it looks better. Now, we are going to go into what Ferrari just came out with, and that is the 296 Speciale. I want to say they did a hell of a job with this. Here's the one thing on these cars. Obviously, you know, they have race car for the race series and for the endurance race, stuff like that. They went down to 296. So that's a car that's race. So it makes sense this is what they went. But again, it's supposed to be the entry level. But, you know, you get in the Speciale, and you know, and especially when you tack on everything, the whole 9 yards. It's a great looking car. People have been driving it. It's unbelievable. It's got over 800 horsepower from that V6. Rear wheel drive, so, you know, not 4-wheel drive, so you don't have all this added weight in the front end. The Settle Fiorano package, which I'm sure everybody will tick off on the order box, is over 40 grand. You know, you want carbon fiber wheels, another 34 grand. I mean, these things are not cheap. What you are getting out of this in regards to a V6, the horsepower, everything like that, it's unbelievable. You know, shaving some weight. And obviously it's sold out. That's no brainer there. They did a really good job. But again, you know, what they started doing more along the lines is, you know, they made it more obviously a road variant as compared to, you know, how they did it in the past. You know, like they did with the SF90XX. You know, all the XX cars prior were just track only. And then they made that, you know, you can drive it on the road. But, you know, these cars are getting priced just obscenely, but they're selling out. People are buying them, everything like that. This is a great car. It's like I said, you're not really dealing with a lot of the stuff the SF90 has. It's not bloated. I would love to be able to get my hands on one of these and drive it just to feel what it's like. It's getting very good accolades. It's like this is what the SF90 should have been. So it'll be interesting to see because obviously the SF90 is they're not producing anymore, right? I don't know. I've heard different things. They're not, whatever. I don't know. It's just, I'm not a fan at all of the SF90, so I really don't follow it. Not my niche. But anyways, like I said, this 296 is gorgeous. I can't wait to see one of these in person. It's an absolutely beautiful car. That's your little walk down history there with the V8 mid-engine special version cars that Ferrari has put out throughout the years. Some really special cars they've created. Like I said, in my mind, the 458 Speciale would be at the top of the list. Then you're going to go to the 430 Scud. And then after that, well, I'm a fan of the 355, so I would go after the 355 somehow, some way. Obviously, because that's manual, straight out. The 360 Challenge Stradale is supposed to be great, but if I'm going to get a 430 Scud. Why would I do that? The only thing I'd have for is to swap in a manual into it. So I was like, if I was able to get those other, I'd buy the 360 challenge, try and swap, put the manual on it, and keep the flappy paddle gearbox in the Scud, maybe. I don't know. Wish, right? Like then going down from there, it's kind of a mixed bag in regards to the 348 would definitely be last. I'm not a hater on that car, but there's a lot of things wrong with it. It's a very finicky car. It can get very expensive to keep going. That 488 Pista, that's a stunning car. That's up there as well. But as you get into those cars, I don't know how so much on the 458, how much that could really work on yourself, but I think to a little bit of an extent. But once you start getting past that with so you're getting to a realm where the only way you're going to get service on it is take it to a dealer or a mechanic that knows what they're doing, paying through the nose or hourly rate. But it's price of admission, so you got to take what you can get. But that's what I like about the 430, especially, as well as that 430 and 360 as well, and 355, is you can do a lot of the work yourself on that. I would say they're simple cars, but they're very straightforward. There's not much too craziness to it. So that's my take on it. Again, if you have any questions, thoughts, correct me on anything. I'm a human. I don't get everything right. Shoot me an email at william@theferrarimarketplace.com. Love to hear from everybody. And like I said, stay tuned for some future episodes. We have Mr. Luigi Canetti Jr. and Bill Warner on an episode coming up. Not sure when. We got to get it arranged. But that's going to be a really, really cool episode. So keep checking or however, get dinged, whatever it is, to get notified of new episodes that get dropped, because that one's going to be a good one. And appreciate you guys listening. So stay tuned. More to come.
This episode has been brought to you by Grand Touring Motorsports as part of our Motoring Podcast Network. For more episodes like this, tune in each week for more exciting and educational content from organizations like the Exotic Car Marketplace, the Motoring Historian, Break Fix, and many others. If you'd like to support Grand Touring Motorsports and the Motoring Podcast Network, sign up for one of our many sponsorship tiers at www.patreon.com/GT Motorsports. Please note that the content, opinions, and materials presented and expressed in this episode are those of its creator, and this episode has been published with their consent. If you have any inquiries about this program, please contact the creators of this episode via email or social media as mentioned in the episode.